Today we are going to talk about the last few sections of this chapter, which are basically on concave and convex functions. And suppose you have some economic function, some economic variable which looks like a concave or a convex function, then it becomes easier for you to analyze these functions if you know that a given function is a concave or a convex function. So it's important for us to identify what kind of functions are actually called as concave functions and what functions are called as convex functions. So when we say that f prime x is positive or negative on any given interval, then what do we mean by this? अगर फर्स्ट डेरिवेटिव इंक्रीजिंग या डिक्रीजिंग या पॉजिटिव या नेगेटिव होता है, then what do we mean by this? That the function is increasing or decreasing, right? This is something that we had done. The meaning of the second derivative being positive or negative is, जैसे आप फर्स्ट डेरिवेटिव को इंटरप्रेट करते हो कि अगर फर्स्ट डेरिवेटिव पॉजिटिव है तो हम बोलते हैं that the function is sloped positively. Similarly, if the second derivative of the function is positive on any given interval, then we say that f prime or the slope of the function is increasing, because second derivative is nothing but derivative of the first derivative, right? So when we say that this entire term is positive, it means that we are saying ki slope of the function is increasing or dy by dx is increasing as x increases, right? This is something that we are clear on from the previous chapters. So how do we actually graphically present this? So we are now saying that, let's say that on a given interval ab a function is defined, and for the entire domain the slope of the function is increasing or double derivative is greater than equal to 0, then we say that the slope of the function is increasing on AB, and we can represent this. Now if you notice is function mein, as you move from A to B, as x increases, you will notice that when you plot the slope here, you will notice that this x increases as you move from A to B in the given interval AB. If function is defined in the given interval AB, then you will notice that as you move from A to B, on all points you will notice that the slope of the function is actually increasing, right? Such functions are called as convex functions, where for the entire domain, when x increases, the slope of the function increases, right? Don't get confused between the meaning of first and the second derivative, because you will notice in this function, for this half, for the first half, the first derivative is negative, okay? And for the second half, the first derivative is positive. मतलब for the first half, function is decreasing, लेकिन it is decreasing at an increasing rate, meaning that although the function value is decreasing as you move from A to this point, but with an extra increment in x, it is decreasing at an increasing rate. मतलब जैसे x increase हो रहा है, decrease in y increase होता जा रहा है. The slope of the function is increasing. On the other hand, if you move from this point to point B, the function is increasing. Now the function value is increasing. The first derivative of the function is positive, lekin the second derivative is also positive, and here as well the second derivative is positive. So the second derivative is positive all through the function, lekin first derivative first half के लिए negative है और second half के लिए positive है. So we say that for the first half, the function is decreasing at an increasing rate, and for the second half, function is increasing at an increasing rate. The second derivative of the function all through the domain is positive or equal to 0, because you will come across a point where the tangent becomes parallel to the x-axis. Now, if f double prime is less than equal to 0 on AB, which means that now the slope is decreasing on AB. how can we graphically present such functions? So if a function is defined on an interval AB and I'm saying कि यहाँ पे डबल डेरिवेटिव जो है फंक्शन का वो लेस देन इक्वल टू जीरो है, then this implies that the first derivative or the slope of the function is decreasing. मतलब जैसे आप a से b की तरफ जाओगे, the slope of the function will decrease. And this is again something that you can verify. Such functions are called as concave functions. Again, you will notice that although the second derivative for this function is decreasing, the slope is decreasing. यहाँ पे देखोगे the slope, let's say hypothetically, if I try and give numbers here, यहाँ पे slope may be +6, यहाँ पे it becomes slightly flatter, it will maybe +4, यहाँ पे it becomes 0, here it will be say -2, यहाँ पे it will be -5, so on and so forth. So you notice that across each point, as you move in the increasing direction of x, you notice that the slope of the function is decreasing. Lekin again, you can break this function into two parts, where in the first part, the first derivative is positive, and in the second part, the first derivative is negative. लेकिन दोनों ही पार्ट्स में सेकेंड डेरिवेटिव लेस देन इक्वल टू जीरो है. The first half we'll say that the function is increasing at a decreasing rate. In the second half, we'll say that the function is decreasing at a decrease. You are given a function and you have to test for the concavity or convexity of a function. What you can do is you can calculate the second derivative of the function in the given interval. If the second derivative comes out to be greater than equal to zero all through the domain, then you will call that function as a convex function. Whereas if the second derivative comes out to be less than equal to zero all through the domain, then you will call that function as a concave function. An easy way to remember, I mean, just by looking at the graphs, is that functions which are bowed downwards or which look like a cave, you know, this one looks like a cave, and that's why this is a concave function. And functions which are bowed outwards are called as convex functions. So this is just a random easy way to remember which particular function is a concave or a convex function. But definitely numerically you will have to test for the functions. If you are given a function, then you will test for the second derivative, check the sign of the second derivative, and then conclude whether the function is a concave or a convex function. So we can say that f is convex on interval I if double derivative of the function is greater than equal to 0 for all x in I, and f is concave if the double derivative is less than equal to 0 for all x in I. Just a very simple example, say you are given a function and you have to identify whether this function is concave or convex. What you can do is you can calculate the double derivative of this function, which will be first derivative will be 2x minus 2 and the second derivative will be 2. And you notice that on the entire domain of the function, since this is a constant and a positive constant, the double derivative is greater than 0. So we can say that this function is convex. Right? So you can test for the concavity and convexity of the functions just by looking at the second derivative, and depending on the sign of the second derivative, you can conclude whether the function is convex or concave. In economics, if I specifically talk about applications of such functions in economics, you have a lot of functions which you will come across which will be either concave or convex in nature. So say I talk about growth population curve. You will notice, I mean empirically, अगर आपके पास कोई data है और आप उस data को plot करने की कोशिश करोगे, say on x-axis you have time and on the y-axis you have population. You will notice that your function will look something like this. By looking at the function, you can identify that this is a convex function, and you know that a convex function has a property where, now this one is an increasing convex function. So you can say that with increasing time, अगर ऐसा कोई curve आपको मिल रहा है तो आपका interpretation direct हो सकता है that with the change in time, as we are progressing in time, the population is increasing at an increasing rate. that with each consequent year, हर एक अगले साल में population पिछले साल से और ज्यादा हो रही है. It is increasing at an increasing rate. So such curves are definitely applications of convex functions. Demographic economics में आप इस तरीके के functions के साथ deal करोगे. You also have such functions in development economics or macroeconomics. There is a function called as Laffer's curve, which I'm sure you will read in future, which is basically a function of tax revenue. And this is the kind of shape that you get for this function. Again, this is an example of a concave function. Then you have Kuznets inverted U-shape curve. This is the kind of function that is a function of inequality and was given by Simon Kuznets. तो इस तरीके के functions economics में आपको widespread मिलेंगे. And you know the applications of these, the properties of these functions, and you, depending on the variables that you have in the given situation, आप identify कर सकते हो, economic meanings निकाल सकते हो. Very common example जो शायद आप लोग अभी पढ़ भी चुके होंगे is that of production functions. So if I say y represents the total output, then this is a very common kind of production function that you come across. This has a specific name, which is called as a Cobb-Douglas function. In a more advanced version of this, you have two inputs. So this one, right now in this example, I just have one input, but you often have this in this format. And such functions have a specific name, which is Cobb-Douglas production functions. So now you can obviously interpret a lot of things about these production functions. So you can calculate the second derivative of this function and identify for what values of alpha would this function, for what values of alpha or capital A would this function be convex or concave. So obviously now it has a greater meaning. You are talking about a production function. So where you are saying that a production function will look like this, where you have k on the x-axis and y on the y-axis. So now you're talking about how output would change with the change in capital. And if you want to make sure that your output is increasing at an increasing rate, what are the kind of restrictions that you need to have or conditions that you need to have on these parameters is something that you can easily identify by calculating the second derivative of these functions. So for example, आप इसका second derivative निकालते हो. Second derivative will come out to be equal to this. We are assuming that alpha is a parameter between 0 and 1 and a is a positive constant. So now given the second derivative is calculated and given these conditions, आप identify कर सकते हो कि second derivative for this function will be positive or negative. We're saying that a is positive, capital A is positive, and small a is between 0 and 1, negative. Because this is positive, a minus 1 will be negative, right? So this entire term will become negative, and believing that k is positive, which in fact it will be positive, since this is the amount of capital raised to the power a minus 2. So this will give you a negative sign, and negative sign means that this function is a concave function. So you have a concave function here, which means that your output is increasing at a decreasing rate. This means that your output is increasing at a decreasing rate. ये कौन सी economic property depict करता है? So this one represents the property of diminishing returns to factor, जिसका क्या मतलब है कि जब आप अपने production process में capital increase करते हो और increase करते जाते हो, with every incremental addition of capital, the addition in the output decreases. But अगर यहाँ पे small a, if यहाँ पे we are saying that small a is between 0 and 1, but अगर यहाँ पे small a greater than 1 होता, तो क्या होता? Because we are assuming small a is between 0 and 1, that's why we get this result that this function is concave and hence it follows diminishing returns to factor. But अगर a की value greater than 1 होती, then you would have got a different shape for the production function, which would have looked like this. So this production function is for a between 0 and 1, and this one will be for a greater than 1, where you're saying that with incremental increase in capital, now you have more output. मतलब जैसे जैसे कैपिटल इंक्रीज करते जाओगे आउटपुट का जो एडिशन हो रहा है वो भी इंक्रीज होता जाएगा, विच इज इंक्रीजिंग मार्जिनल प्रोडक्ट. सो you can, I mean, depending on what restrictions you have on A, you can get the two shapes for the production functions. Another important result that you have on concave and convex functions is based on the composite functions. So say you have two functions, U and G. U here refers to utility and G is another function, and we are saying that both U and G are increasing and concave functions. Okay, this is something that we are setting out as an assumption. So we are saying that U prime is positive because it is an increasing function, and G prime is also positive because it is an increasing function, and U double prime is less than equal to 0, and G double prime is also less than equal to 0. Okay, now we are saying that we frame a new function f of x which is a composite function. So G is a function, G is some rule, and ये rule हम utility पे लगा रहे हैं. So G of U of x, we are calling that as f of x. Now this is a composite function, right? G is a composite function of utility. So we will see that if you have two functions which are increasing and concave, and if you make a composite function on these two functions, then the resultant function, the composite function, will also be increasing and concave. And you can prove this by taking the first derivative here. F prime x, यहाँ पे chain rule लगाएंगे, G prime U x into U prime x. Since both G prime and U prime are positive, so F prime x will also be positive. Hence, f prime being positive, it means that it is also increasing. So we say that an increasing transformation of an increasing function, an increasing, and again these are very important results from the perspective of economic applications. An increasing transformation of an increasing function is increasing. इसका क्या मतलब है कि आप यूटिलिटी को ट्रांसफॉर्म कर रहे हो, ठीक है, यूटिलिटी को ट्रांसफॉर्म कर रहे हो, एंड यूटिलिटी इज एन इंक्रीजिंग फंक्शन. सो यू आर यूजिंग एन इंक्रीजिंग फंक्शन, यू आर ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग इट इनटू अनदर फंक्शन, और जिस तरीके से आप ट्रांसफॉर्म कर रहे हो, आप यहाँ पे यूटिलिटी पे एक दूसरा रूल लगा रहे हो, विच इज by the function g, and in fact this function is also increasing. So we call such transformations as increasing transformations, क्योंकि जिस function से आप transform कर रहे हो वो भी एक इंक्रीजिंग फंक्शन है, ठीक है. सो एन इंक्रीजिंग ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऑफ एन इंक्रीजिंग फंक्शन विल ऑलवेज गिव यू एन इंक्रीजिंग फंक्शन. एंड यू विल ऑल्सो नोटिस दैट इफ यू टेक द डबल डेरिवेटिव हियर, अगेन चेन रूल लगाओगे आप, you will again notice that this is also a concave function. So G double prime is negative because G function is a concave function. So G double prime is less than equal to 0, and U double prime is also less than equal to 0. Okay, and this will be positive, this will be positive. You will get F double prime as less than equal to 0. So we say that an increasing concave transformation, an increasing concave transformation of a concave function is also concave. Why increasing concave transformation? Because जिस rule से हम transform कर रहे हैं, which is function g, rule g, this is an increasing concave function. So जब आप किसी function का, किसी concave function का एक increasing concave transformation करते हो, तो वो आपको एक resultant function देता है, which is also concave. Now what are inflection points exactly? So inflection points are points where the curvature of the function changes, and we had seen an example of such functions. So say you have a function looking like this. You notice कि इस function में इस point तक ये function concave function की तरह दिख रहा है till this point, and after this point you notice that this function looks like a convex function. So this particular point where which is basically the point at which the curvature of the function is changing is called as an inflection point. And at such points, you will notice that the double derivative, if I call this point as point C, you will notice that the double derivative of the function at this point will be equal to 0. So एक inflection point ऐसा point होता है in a given interval AB, a point C belonging to interval AB, and AB is the domain interval of the given function f. If C belongs to this interval AB and you notice any of these two results, which is double derivative of the function is greater than equal to 0 if x is between C and A, मतलब C से लेफ्ट साइड पे अगर आप देखते हो कि डबल डेरिवेटिव ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 0 है एंड f double prime is less than equal to 0 if x is between C and B, मतलब to the right of C. If you notice something like this कि अगर C से पहले वाले पॉइंट्स पे डबल डेरिवेटिव ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 0 है और C के बाद वाले पॉइंट्स में double derivative less than equal to 0 hai, then you will call that as an inflection point. C will be called as an inflection point. Or you notice the opposite, which is double derivative is less than equal to 0 if x is less than C, matlab left sides wale point, and double derivative is greater than equal to 0 if x is greater than C. तो इन दोनों में से अगर कोई भी चीज आप नोटिस कर रहे हो फंक्शन में, then पॉइंट C will be called as an inflection point. मतलब C से पहले वाले पॉइंट्स में डबल डेरिवेटिव का साइन अगर पॉजिटिव है तो C से बाद वाले पॉइंट्स में डेरिवेटिव का साइन डबल डेरिवेटिव का साइन नेगेटिव होना चाहिए, या ऑपोजिट हो सकता है कि C से पहले वाले पॉइंट्स पे डबल डेरिवेटिव का साइन नेगेटिव है और C के बाद वाले पॉइंट्स पे पॉजिटिव है, which is what you're seeing here. You're seeing the second property here, the second rule here, that it is less than equal to 0 before C and then greater than equal to 0 after C. Such points are called as inflection points. And you can test for inflection points. Basically, inflection points will occur at a point where f double prime will be equal to 0. And if you notice, you will then have to check for the sign of f double prime before C and after C. जैसे हमने एक्सट्रीम पॉइंट्स के लिए फर्स्ट डेरिवेटिव का साइन चेक करा था एट स्टेशनरी पॉइंट्स, सिमिलरली आप जब जिस भी पॉइंट पे आपको डबल डेरिवेटिव 0 के इक्वल मिल रहा है, आप चेक करोगे कि उस पॉइंट से पहले जितने भी पॉइंट्स हैं उस पे डबल डेरिवेटिव का साइन क्या है और उस पॉइंट के बाद जितने भी पॉइंट्स हैं उसमें डबल डेरिवेटिव का साइन क्या है. इफ यू नोटिस दैट द साइन इज चेंजिंग, then you will call that point as an inflection point. One important thing that you have to keep in mind is that this is not a sufficient condition for inflection point. f double prime C is equal to 0 एक sufficient condition नहीं है, जिसका क्या मतलब है that you can still have a case where the double derivative is equal to 0 and the resultant point is not an inflection point. Remember in the previous class we looked at 3 cases कि जब डबल डेरिवेटिव 0 के इक्वल है तो एक केस हमने देखा था जिसमें वो पॉइंट मिनिमम पॉइंट था, एक केस हमने देखा था वो पॉइंट मैक्सिमम पॉइंट था और एक केस हमने देखा था जिसमें वो पॉइंट इन्फ्लेक्शन पॉइंट था. तो अगर किसी पॉइंट पे f डबल प्राइम 0 के इक्वल मिल रहा है तो ये जरूरी नहीं है दैट दिस विल इंप्लाई दैट दिस इज एन इन्फ्लेक्शन पॉइंट. इसके बाद आपको चेक करना पड़ेगा कि इस पॉइंट से पहले वाले पॉइंट्स पे डबल डेरिवेटिव का साइन क्या है और इस पॉइंट के बाद वाले पॉइंट्स पे डबल डेरिवेटिव का साइन क्या है. सो इट इज नॉट मैंडेटरी कि अगर जहां पे f डबल प्राइम C 0 के इक्वल आ गया है वहां पे इन्फ्लेक्शन पॉइंट होगा ही होगा, ये जरूरी नहीं है. So that has to be kept in mind when you are testing for inflection points. Now the last very important result, a very useful result that you have from the concave and convex functions is related to the extreme points. So we have in the previous class discussed extreme points, local and global. When you have concave and convex functions, you can easily identify whether a given function attains a maximum or a minimum point at at a certain stationary point. So this is a very useful result based, and this links the concept of concavity and convexity and optimization. So say you have a function which is concave in some interval I, and in this function say you have C as a stationary point. ठीक है, एक कोई फंक्शन है आपके पास जो कॉन्केव है एंड C comes out to be a stationary point. कॉन्केव का मतलब क्या है? That the slope is decreasing, right? So we can say if the slope is decreasing, and concave functions more precisely look like this, and I'm saying that C is a point where C is a stationary point where the first derivative is equal to 0, then we call this point as a point of maxima. तो कॉन्केव फंक्शन में जो भी स्टेशनरी पॉइंट होता है वो पॉइंट मैक्सिमा का पॉइंट होता है, वेयर एज कॉन्वेक्स में ऑपोजिट होगा. अगर f एक कॉन्वेक्स फंक्शन है एंड c एक स्टेशनरी पॉइंट है कॉन्वेक्स फंक्शन में, देन दिस पॉइंट विल बी द पॉइंट ऑफ मिनिमा. And this is a very useful result, that just by testing whether a function is concave or convex, and if you know the stationary point of that function, then you can identify कि ये function minima होगा या maxima होगा. So this is another important result that you have, where you can just test whether the function is concave and convex, and this is actually related to the second derivative test that we said, that a function, if C is a stationary point and if C is positive, if the double derivative is positive, then we call that function, then we call that point as a point of minima. And this is what's happening here, कि that if you have a convex function जहाँ पे double derivative positive होता है, then you call that function, then you call that point, that stationary point, as a point of minima. हम chapter number 9 के last section की तरफ move कर रहे हैं, which is again on concave and convex functions, but now we'll be looking at concave and convex functions with a slightly different viewpoint. A function will be called as a concave function if a line segment joining any 2 points on the graph is never above the graph. And conversely, for the convex functions, we can say that a function will be called as a convex function if the line segment joining any 2 points on the graph is never below the graph. इसका क्या मतलब है? That if you take any 2 points on this graph, which is a concave function, and you join the line, you join these 2 points using a line segment, then this line segment will never be above the graph. अगर कोई 2 पॉइंट्स आप कर्व पे लेते हो कॉन्केव फंक्शन के और आप उन 2 पॉइंट्स को एक लाइन सेगमेंट से ज्वाइन करते हो, देन द लाइन सेगमेंट विल नेवर बी अबव द ग्राफ. अगर ये चीज सेटिस्फाई हो रही है, देन वी कॉल सच फंक्शंस एज कॉन्केव फंक्शंस. सो बेसिकली वी आर सेइंग दैट लाइन सेगमेंट joining any 2 points, you take any 2 points here, कोई भी आप 2 points लो, you will notice कि कोई भी random 2 points को जब आप join करते हो, then the line joining these 2 points is never above the graph. कोई ऐसी line आपको नहीं मिलेगी जो इस ग्राफ के ऊपर lie कर रही है. That is not possible. Hence, we say that line segment joining any 2 points on the graph is never above the graph. Such functions are called as concave functions, and convex functions would be just the opposite, which is अगर आप कोई 2 points लेते हो and you join these 2 points using a line segment, then this line segment will never be below the graph. It will always be above the graph. It will never be below the graph. So the same definition, the only thing that changes here is that it is never below the graph. Convex functions की identity है कि अगर आप उस function पे कोई भी 2 points लो और आप उन 2 points को join करोगे, तो हमेशा वो 2 points जो हैं उस function के ऊपर lie करेंगे. They will never, the line segment will never lie below the graph. कोई इस तरीके की line आपको नहीं मिलेगी. Look at this numerically, algebraically देखेंगे हम कि इसको हम, अगर हमें कोई एक function given है और हमें ये कॉन्सेप्ट यूज करके इस फंक्शन की कॉन्केविटी और कॉन्वेक्सिटी पे कमेंट करना है, तो हम किस तरीके से एल्जेब्रिकली इस चीज को प्रूव कर सकते हैं. So to do so, we will have to define few things here, ठीक है? And let's say you have a point x belonging to interval AB. ठीक है, मैं यहाँ पे साइड में इसका प्लॉट भी बना रही हूँ so that it is visually also clear. So say you have a curve which looks like this, and this is defined. This function is defined in a closed bounded interval AB. यहाँ पे आपके पास कोई एक पॉइंट है x which belongs to this closed interval AB. Then we can say that a is less than b, ठीक है, and we can say that x can be written as lambda into a plus lambda b, where lambda belongs to 0 1. x बेसिकली इस पूरी लाइन सेगमेंट पे रोटेट कर मतलब मूव कर सकता है. x could be this point, x could be this, x could be this, you know, I mean it could be any point between this closed interval AB. तो हम ऐसे x के बारे में बात करें, एक जनरल पॉइंट के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं जो इस क्लोज्ड इंटरवल AB में लाई करता है. And I'm saying that we can write this x as equal to this, where we are saying that it is equal to 1 minus lambda into a plus lambda into b, and where lambda belongs to 0 and 1. अगर मैं यहाँ पे lambda में 0 पुट करती हूँ तो मुझे क्या वैल्यू मिलेगी x की? एक्सट्रीम पॉइंट, एंड पॉइंट a. अगर मैं यहाँ पे lambda में 1 पुट करती हूँ then I will get b, right? So as lambda, and if I put any value between 0 and 1, say I put lambda is equal to 0.5. So lambda is equal to 0, x will be equal to a. Lambda is equal to 1, x will be equal to b. And any value between 0 and 1, say lambda is equal to 0.5, x will be equal to 0.5 into a plus 0.5 into b, which means that you will get a midpoint of a and b. You can also put lambda is equal to 0.3, which means x will be equal to 0.3 into a plus 0.7 into b. तो आपको कुछ यहाँ पे पॉइंट मिलेगा. So basically for lambda, as lambda increases from 0 to 1, x increases from a to b. तो हम x को इस तरीके से लिख सकते हैं where lambda belongs to closed interval 0 and 1. So we can say that x will basically be between a and b. For different values of lambda, x will be greater than equal to a or less than equal to b. जैसे मैंने अभी दिखाया, for different values of lambda, x will be either equal to a or greater than a or less than b or equal to b. इन सारी possibilities में से कोई एक value x की attain होगी, right? This can further be simplified as a plus lambda b minus a. इसको open करोगे तो this is what you will get. इसी चीज को हम रिवर्स डायरेक्शन में बोल सकते हैं दैट इफ अगर हम बोलते हैं x बिलोंग्स टू क्लोज्ड इंटरवल AB, एंड इफ वी पुट लैम्डा इज इक्वल टू x माइनस a अपॉन b माइनस a, you will understand what this ratio is, but let's just first put lambda is equal to this into the given format and then see what is the result that we get. Then 1 minus lambda जो हमने यहाँ पे लिखा है, this value 1 minus lambda a plus lambda b में हम lambda की ये value substitute करके देख रहे हैं. Then 1 minus x minus a upon b minus a into a plus. So in this format जो हमने बोला कि x को हम इस तरीके से लिख सकते हैं, उसमें मैंने lambda की जगह पे इस रेशियो को सब्सटीट्यूट करा. I will just explain what this ratio is. And you will notice when you solve this, जब आप इसको solve करोगे, then your answer will actually be equal to x. So we are just trying to prove the statement जो हमने अभी लिखी है by taking it in the reverse direction, and we are trying to understand what do we really mean by lambda here. ठीक है, ये जो हमने बोला कि यहाँ पे x is equal to 1 minus lambda into a plus lambda b हम लिख सकते हैं, and we said that lambda will be some value between 0 and 1. Now through this analysis we are just trying to understand what really is this lambda, and we say that when we substitute lambda is equal to x minus a upon b minus a, we get this term to be equal to x, which is what we want. This is what we want. right? And what is this ratio? It is basically the ratio of distance from x to a by distance from b to a. तो ये जो लैम्डा है ये बेसिकली आपको क्या बताता है कि ये जो x वैल्यू है ये a से कितना दूर है डिवाइडेड बाय टोटल डिस्टेंस बिटवीन a एंड b. So if lambda is equal to 0.5, it means कि out of the total distance between A and B, X is located at 0.5, meaning 50% distance पे है. Out of the total distance between A and B, 50% distance पे X located है. ठीक है, 0.5 का मतलब ये होगा. लैम्डा इज इक्वल टू 0 का क्या मतलब होगा कि B और A के डिस्टेंस के बीच में 0% पे लोकेटेड है, मतलब फर्स्ट पॉइंट, इनिशियल पॉइंट पे लोकेटेड है. ठीक है, लैम्डा इज इक्वल टू 1 का क्या मतलब होगा कि लास्ट पॉइंट पे लोकेटेड है. 0.3 का मतलब क्या होगा कि टोटल डिस्टेंस में से जो 30% वाला पॉइंट है वहां पे x लोकेटेड है. तो लैम्डा इज नथिंग बट द रेशियो ऑफ द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन x एंड a divided by this total distance between A and B. If we look at this figure again, ठीक है, now I'm saying that this x can easily be written as 1 minus lambda a plus lambda b. इसको हम इस तरीके से लिख सकते हैं. Now let's take 2 points here. ठीक है, let's actually take a and b itself as the 2 points. ठीक है, तो हमने यहाँ पे एक पॉइंट लिया है ये वाला, which is a f of a, ठीक है, and this is b f of b, and we are joining this line segment. ठीक है, ये 2 पॉइंट्स हैं इस कर्व पे. a f of a पहले पॉइंट का कोऑर्डिनेट है, b f of b दूसरे पॉइंट का कोऑर्डिनेट है. I have just joined this entire line segment. Now I want to know the value of this distance. तो मैं इस डिस्टेंस को नेम दे रही हूं यहाँ पे स्मॉल s. ठीक है, दिस इज द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन द लाइन सेगमेंट एंड दिस पॉइंट x जो मैंने अभी यहाँ पे डिफाइन करा है. एंड आई वांट टू नो कि ये जो s है ये किसके इक्वल है. ठीक है, मैं इसके लिए एक फॉर्म निकालने की कोशिश करूंगी. सो वी वांट टू नो व्हाट दिस s इज इक्वल टू. s is basically a point on this line segment, and using the linear form, like if you remember the point formula of calculating a line segment, हम यहाँ पे हमारे पास 2 पॉइंट्स हैं, a and f of a and b and f of b. इन 2 पॉइंट्स को यूज करके पॉइंट फॉर्मूला यूज करके मैं इसकी वैल्यू इस लाइन सेगमेंट की वैल्यू निकाल सकती हूँ, राइट? सो आई कैन से दैट s minus f of a is equal to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a into x minus a. So I am saying कि जैसे x मूव करता है a और b के बीच में वैसे ही ये डिस्टेंस भी मूव करेगा, and I am calling this distance as small s. ठीक है, and I want to know what this small s will be equal to. I can basically calculate the line segment form here using the point formula, and I'm saying that the 2 points I am using to calculate the line segment is a f of a and b f of b. ठीक है, तो फॉर्मूला आपको याद होगा, y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 upon x minus x1. ये फॉर्मूला होता था पॉइंट फॉर्मूला. हमने बस यही सब्स्टिट्यूट करा है. y यहाँ पर s है बिकॉज दैट इज द वर्टिकल डिस्टेंस, एंड इसीलिए यहाँ पे s है. y1 और x1 यहाँ पे हमने इस वाले पॉइंट को कंसिडर करा है, और y2 और x2 हमने इस पॉइंट को कंसिडर करा है, और x is x here, right? So I've just substituted these terms here, and this is what you get. Next, what I can do is I can replace x with 1 minus lambda a plus lambda b. x को अभी हमने बोला that x can be written as 1 minus lambda a plus lambda b. So मैं इस फॉर्म में x की जगह पे, now if I solve this, when you solve this, the right hand side, this will become a minus lambda a plus lambda b minus a and a will get cancelled out. I can further, maybe I should do it here itself. यहां से मैं lambda कॉमन ले सकती हूँ, right? And I can write it as lambda b minus a and a will get cancelled out, and I can write it as lambda b minus a, b minus a, b minus a will get cancelled out. So basically on the right side I have lambda into f of b minus f of a, and on the left side I have s minus f of a. इसको दोबारा मैं थोड़ा सॉल्व कर सकती हूँ. एफ ऑफ ए को मैं इस तरफ लेके जा रही हूँ राइट साइड पे. दिस विल गिव मी एस इज इक्वल टू लैम्डा एफ ऑफ बी माइनस एफ ऑफ ए था, मैंने उस ब्रैकेट को ओपन करा. I have opened this bracket, so lambda f of b minus lambda f of a is what I get on the right side, and I have taken left side वाला f of a. ये left side वाला f of a भी मैं right side पे लाई हूँ, तो this will become plus f of a. I can say that s, the general form of s is equal to, यहां से मैंने f of a कॉमन लिया, 1 minus lambda plus lambda f of b. So I can say that this s, ये जो vertical distance है, this is actually, the general form of this will look like this, 1 minus lambda into f of a plus lambda into f of b. ठीक है? Now what is happening? As lambda takes value between 0 and 1, as lambda moves between 0 and 1, the number x, which is 1 minus lambda into a plus lambda b, will move between a and b. ये हमने अभी देखा है. As lambda moves between 0 and 1, this x will move between a and b. As x moves between a and b, s will be equal to this for lambda, for different values of lambda. ठीक है? अब ये s यहां पे भी लाई कर सकता है. अगर x यहां पर है, then this will be s. If x is here, then this will be s. So this s will basically change, right? नाउ हमने अभी इनिशियली स्टेटमेंट बोली थी कि कॉनकेव फंक्शन ऐसा फंक्शन है जिसमें अगर कोई दो पॉइंट्स हम ले और उस दो पॉइंट्स को एक लाइन सेगमेंट से ज्वाइन करें, देन दैट लाइन सेगमेंट विल ऑलवेज लाई बिलो द ग्राफ. ठीक है? सो नाउ हम एक स्टेप क्लोज पहुंच रहे हैं उस डेफिनेशन को एल्जेब्रिकली समझने में, कि हमने ये चीज डिराइव कर ली है कि हम उस लाइन सेगमेंट को एल्जेब्रिकली कैसे लिख सकते हैं. नाउ वी ओनली हैव टू स्टेट द फैक्ट दैट दिस लाइन सेगमेंट विल ऑलवेज बी बिलो द ग्राफ ऑफ द फंक्शन. तो इस x पॉइंट पे फंक्शन की वैल्यू क्या होगी? एट दिस पॉइंट x, which is rotating between a and b, s is the value of the line segment, and functional value will be equal to f of x. You have to say that f of x is greater than equal to this line segment. मेरे को अगर उस definition को algebraically prove करना है, तो मेरे को सिर्फ ये बोलना है that f of x is greater than equal to s as x moves between a and b, right? So I can just put it in more defined terms. x की जगह पे मैं लिख सकती हूँ 1 minus lambda a plus lambda b ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू, और s मैंने अभी प्रूफ करा है किसकी इक्वल है, 1 माइनस लैम्डा इंटू एफ ऑफ ए प्लस लैम्डा इंटू एफ ऑफ बी. दिस इज द algebraic statement for the definition of concave functions, which is that a function which is concave, उस पे अगर कोई भी दो पॉइंट्स आप लेते हो और एक लाइन सेगमेंट ज्वाइन करते हो, देन the line segment is always less than equal to the functional value, is less than or is below the graph of the function. यही इसी स्टेटमेंट को हमने algebraically इस फॉर्म में लिखा है. This is the definition of concave functions. ठीक है? कॉन्वेक्स फंक्शंस का हमने देखा था कि ऑपोजिट होता है. Then we can say that for convex functions, the condition will be 1 minus lambda a into lambda b will be less than equal to the condition for convex functions. Please note that the left side of the inequality and the right side of the inequality are quite different. लेफ्ट साइड में आप क्या कर रहे हो, फंक्शन की वैल्यू ले रहे हो एट दिस पॉइंट 1 माइनस लैम्डा ए प्लस लैम्डा बी. राइट साइड पे क्या कर रहे हो, 1 माइनस लैम्डा इंटू एफ ऑफ ए प्लस लैम्डा इंटू एफ ऑफ बी. यहां पे आप फंक्शन की वैल्यू ए और बी पे ले रहे हो और उसको ऐड कर रहे हो with this coefficient 1 minus lambda and lambda by multiplying, you know, it is more like a weighted average जो आप f of a और f of b का ले रहे हो. यहां पे आप फंक्शन की वैल्यू इस पॉइंट पे ले रहे हो, तो दोनों डिफरेंट है. एंड इफ for a function you can prove any of these two conditions, then you can call that function as a concave or a convex function. Another quick rule that you can learn is that if, say, and I think I've already talked about this, that if suppose you know or you have proved that some function f is a concave function, then आप easily ये चीज बोल सकते हो that minus f, अगर आप इस फंक्शन का नेगेटिव फंक्शन बना दोगे, then this will always be convex. So this is a quick rule that you can remember, that if you have a function which is concave or convex, then minus of this function of will be convex or concave. So basically अगर f concave है तो minus f convex होगा, अगर f convex है तो minus f concave होगा. Another important thing is that हमने यहाँ पे आप notice करोगे that greater than equal to और less than equal to का sign use करा है. These are weak concave and weak convex functions. अगर आपके पास कोई strictly concave function है, then you will get rid of this equality here. You will only have the inequality. अगर आपके पास कोई ऐसा रिजल्ट आ रहा है जिसमें लेफ्ट साइड इज स्ट्रिक्टली ग्रेटर देन द राइट साइड, देन यू विल कॉल दैट फंक्शन एज अ स्ट्रिक्टली कॉन्केव फंक्शन. And similarly for convex, if you only have the condition which is satisfied by the less than sign and you don't have the equal to sign, then you will call such functions as strictly convex. A visual demonstration of concave and strictly concave function will be say this. तो इस तरीके का फंक्शन स्ट्रिक्टली कॉन्केव है, ठीक है. लेकिन अगर आपके पास कोई इस तरीके का फंक्शन आए, देन ये भी कॉन्केव है लेकिन ये स्ट्रिक्टली कॉन्केव नहीं है. दिस इज नॉट अ स्ट्रिक्टली कॉन्केव फंक्शन, बट दिस इज अ स्ट्रिक्टली कॉन्केव फंक्शन. इस बात का क्या मतलब है कि अगर यहां पे आप कोई भी दो पॉइंट्स ज्वाइन करोगे तो हमेशा इस लाइन सेगमेंट की वैल्यू फंक्शन से बिलो आएगी, राइट. यू ज्वाइन एनी टू पॉइंट्स, यू विल ऑलवेज गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ द लाइन सेगमेंट एज लेस देन द फंक्शनल वैल्यू. लेकिन यहां पे आपको एक पॉइंट, दो पॉइंट्स ऐसे मिल सकते हैं जिसमें लाइन सेगमेंट की वैल्यू और फंक्शन की वैल्यू इक्वल होंगी, लेकिन फिर भी ये कॉन्केव कहलाएगा फंक्शन. लेकिन नाउ दिस इज नॉट अ स्ट्रिक्टली कॉन्केव फंक्शन. ओके, सो coming from this is a very important inequality that has a particular term, a particular name in mathematics, which is called as Jensen's inequality. ये यही सेम चीज है जो हमने अभी पढ़ी है, बट हम इसको बस एक जनरलाइज्ड फॉर्मेट में लिखेंगे, एंड इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ Jensen's inequality. जो हमने अभी पढ़ा है उसी को हम रीइटरेट कर रहे हैं दूसरे वर्ड्स में. सो वी आर सेइंग दैट से a is equal to x1, b is equal to x2, ठीक है. 1 माइनस लैम्डा को हम लैम्डा 1 बोल रहे हैं और लैम्डा को हम लैम्डा 2 बोल रहे हैं, ठीक है. हमने बस थोड़े टर्म्स चेंज करे, a की जगह पे x1, b की जगह पे x2, 1 माइनस लैम्डा की जगह पे लैम्डा 1, लैम्डा की जगह पे लैम्डा 2. देन द सेम डेफिनेशन, and obviously we are placing a condition that lambda 1 plus lambda 2 is plus lambda 2 will be equal to 1, ठीक है, क्योंकि obviously we want कि ये 0 और 1 के बीच में lie करे, and lambda 1 and lambda 2 both are non-negative numbers, ठीक है. ये कुछ conditions हैं. Then we can say that f of lambda 1 x1 plus lambda 2 x2 is greater than equal to lambda 1 f of x1 plus lambda 2 f of x2. If such a condition is satisfied, then we call f of x as a concave function. ठीक है, तो ये जेनसेन्स इनइक्वालिटी है विच इज जस्ट अ रीइटरेशन ऑफ द कॉन्सेप्ट्स दैट वी हैव रेड. द ओनली थिंग दैट इज चेंजिंग इज हम इसको सिर्फ एग्जैक्टली जेनसन टर्म्स में लिख रहे हैं, जहां पे उन्होंने ए की जगह पे x1 यूज करा है, बी की जगह पे x2 यूज करा है, बट इंट्यूटिवली द सेम थिंग इज जस्ट रिपीटेड. आप इस जेनसेन्स इनइक्वालिटी को एक्सपैंड कर सकते हो बाय सेइंग f of lambda x1 plus lambda x2 lambda xn lambda n xn is greater than or equal to lambda 1 f of x1 plus lambda 2 f of x2, so on till lambda n f of x1. So this is just a generalization of Jensen's inequality when you have more than 2 points here. Okay, let's pick up an example quickly and see if we can understand how you can prove this condition जो हमने अभी state करी है if you are given a particular function. So say you have f of x is equal to mod of x और आपको ये prove करना है कि ये function convex है in the interval minus infinity to infinity. ठीक है, हमको ये algebraically प्रूव करना है, जैसे अभी हमने जो रिजल्ट्स एस्टैब्लिश करे हैं उनको यूज करके, लेकिन आप ग्राफिकली इस फंक्शन को जानते हो, ये फंक्शन कैसा दिखता है, आपसे समझ में आ रहा है कि ये कॉन्वेक्स फंक्शन है, बट हमें इसको algebraically प्रूव करना है कि क्या ये कॉन्वेक्स फंक्शन है या नहीं है. So what we'll do is we'll first take f of 1 minus lambda a प्लस लैम्डा बी. हमें बेसिकली ये कंडीशन प्रूव करनी है जो मैं अभी लिख रही हूं, that the functional value at 1 minus lambda a plus lambda b will be less than equal to 1 minus lambda f of a plus lambda f of b. ठीक है, इसको अगर मैं इस वाले टर्म को लेफ्ट साइड पे लेके जाऊं तो ये हो जाएगा माइनस 1 माइनस लैम्डा f of a माइनस लैम्डा एफ ऑफ पी. ठीक है, इस तरीके से मैं लिख सकती हूं इसको. अगर मुझे ये इनइक्वालिटी प्रूफ करनी है और अगर मैं ये चीज प्रूफ कर दूं जो मैंने सेकंड लाइन में लिखी है, तो ये दोनों सेम चीजें हैं. ठीक है, नाउ लेट्स ट्राई एंड आइडेंटिफाई द वैल्यू ऑफ द फंक्शन एट दिस पॉइंट. तो मेरे को मॉड लेना है इस वैल्यू का 1 माइनस लैम्डा ए प्लस लैम्डा बी, और यहां पे है 1 माइनस लैम्डा mod of a minus lambda mod of b. I have to prove whether this is less than equal to 0 or not. ठीक है, now one important property of mod is useful here, which is that अगर कोई mod function में दो पॉइंट्स हैं x और y और आप उनको ऐड कर रहे हो, then this is a general rule for all real numbers x and y. Mod of x plus y will be less than equal to mod of x plus mod of y. ये जनरल रूल है जो आपको हेल्पफुल होगा फॉर ऑपरेशंस जहां पे मॉड फंक्शंस हैं, which is mod of x plus y is less than equal to mod of x plus mod of y. And you can verify this by taking different values of x and y. अगर x और y दोनों पॉजिटिव नंबर्स हैं, then you will have an equal to sign here. राइट अगर सपोज दोनों नेगेटिव नंबर्स हैं तो भी इक्वल टू का साइन होगा, लेकिन अगर एक नेगेटिव एक पॉजिटिव है then you will have this inequality here. So say x is -2 and y is 3, then you will notice that the left side will be 1 और right side क्या होगी, be 5. So you will notice that the left side is less than the right side. So this is a general rule जो हम easily यहाँ पे use कर सकते हैं by treating 1 minus lambda a as x and lambda b as y. तो मैं यहाँ पे लिख सकती हूँ next step में that this entire thing is less than equal to 1 minus lambda mod of a plus lambda mod of b. ठीक है, minus you will notice that these terms are getting cancelled, and hence I can say that this inequality comes out to be less than equal to 0, which is what we wanted to prove. If the function is convex, then this is the inequality that we wanted to prove, and we have actually proved that. हमने बोला है दैट हम इस इनइक्वालिटी को इस तरीके से लिख सकते हैं एंड दिस इज एक्चुअली लेस देन इक्वल टू 0.